Hello, 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 folks. Welcome to the Danny Cook Show. We are going to be talking about a lot of things, as you can see on the screen. So, hi to the folks that are on TikTok. Hi to the folks that are on YouTube and Facebook. It is good to see everybody. TikTokers, I will say hi when I see you come in the room. YouTube and Facebook, you got to say hi because I can't see you when you enter. I can only see comments, and I'm starting to suspect that I can't see them all. So, hopefully, I'll see you and speak to you. What's up, Cheryl? Good to see you. Hey, Sherry Martin. Hello, Jeremy. Takes the H. What's up, Reaper NAZ? Hey, Lynn. Good to see you as well. It has been a long morning for me. I thought I was going to be on like so much further earlier in the day, but it did not happen. What's up, Candace and Mimi and Sylvia? What's up, C? Hey, Cheryl. What's up, Pie Slice and Cam? Good to see everybody. Yeah, so my mom gifted me a new office chair, which the folks that are on Facebook and YouTube can see. TikTok, you cannot because you have the screen up over there. But anyway, I have the background. What's up, Jazz? Good to see you. Your slice of sanity. Hey, Sharon. Thank you for the sugars, Mimi. Hey, Witch. Hello, everybody. So yeah, it has been a morning. What's up, Marky? I have put together this chair, and my body is feeling it. But it is well worth it. So I happen to love the chair and all the feels and everything that comes with it. She got me the one that it's like what they call the meditation chair, where I can put my feet out in front of me, help open my hips up, which my back and my leg like really, really are grateful for. So what's up, Receive Grace? How are you? Donna Ski, good to see you. Mel Gray, you have that one, Cam? Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. Hey, Win Dixie, good to see you. So as you all can see, I've added some more photos to the conversation today. Hey, Kendra. What's up, Tina Noel? Good to see you. Facebook and YouTube, you guys aren't saying hello, so I can't see who's actually in the room. I miss people. What's up? Yeah, we love a new trail, right? A chair, right? Track right now. And as you all can see, I am bandanaed up. This is what it looks like when you're cleaning house, when you're putting together new furniture, when you're doing all of those things. Yeah, you just tie a bandana around your hair and rock it out. So that's what we're doing. Hey, Trey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sherry, listen, this new chair really does excite me. My back, my hip, and my knee, all, for those of you who do not know, disabled veteran over here. So anything that helps with back pain and knee pain and all the things. Yeah, you have on the same bandana today. Yeah, Jazz, look, I got them in all kinds of colors. Hey, Veronica. So yeah, so we're gonna do some talking, and I did some diggings, which let me just tell you, I have already done. Is your chair, Rylene? I've only been in it for 10 minutes, but I think that it will. It's got a nice little back support here. It actually reclines all the way back. The thing that I love the most is that it's allowing me to put my feet out in front of me on this footrest and just kind of sit with my hips open some. So hopefully that will help, and the sciatica won't kick my ass so bad today, right? So I do want to talk about some things. I have a new podcast episode that is coming out later today. When I get off of this TikTok, that will be the very next thing that I do is edit it, because I've already recorded it, get it edited, get it put up and put together, and it'll be out, right? So some of the things that we're going to talk about here are going to be on that podcast. Sometimes it's the core of the same content, but sometimes the verbiage and things like that are different. Hey, Patrice, good to see you. What's up, Beach Bum Wannabe? Mandarific, good to see you as well. So we're going to go from there. And which I'm very grateful for this. Yep. And then this is your reminder, 7:00 p.m. tonight, there is a Good Trouble workshop. What is Good Trouble? So Good Trouble is whenever we do our part to shape the country in the way that is best for absolutely everyone, and not a particular group of people, not according to one particular ideology, but in accordance with people being able to live and people being able to eat and get an education and afford health care and all of those things, right? Those are all universal things that I think everybody can agree on. And so Good Trouble helps us do that. So Good Trouble today will include how to use information that's out there about education funding, how to use information about rural hospitals, how to use information about maternal mortality or maternal vulnerability deserts and things like that. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about how to do a FOIA request. There's 30 spots left. So if you have not RSVP'd, you can do that in my link tree. So if you're on Facebook and you go to my Facebook profile, YouTube, go to the profile, you will see my link tree. TikTok, go to the profile. The link tree is there. The very first link is the Good Trouble training. Hey, what's up, Dilgrave? So do yourself a favor. It's not really doing me a favor. I do it for free. There's no fee. Swear to God, there's no fee. I literally just want to equip people with information, knowledge, and tools that they can use to do all the things. Oh, you got your Danny oil from Dilly's. I love that for you, Rylene. I love that for you. I just, letting you all know what is there. So things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to recap a little bit. Yesterday was the first day that we really talked about Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Laura Loomer. What's up, Lita? 63. And we talked about, their position on the Qatar, on the $400 million plane and all of that. I did run across a really interesting document that I'm kind of excited to share with you guys. I will say this. I've included this information on the podcast. So you guys are hearing it first before the podcast airs later today. But it's information that I found to be very enlightening and very helpful in my understanding about how presidential libraries and presidential library foundations work, and that they are a little bit different. Okay, so Jenna. Let me help. Discord is easy, but let me help. If you're talking about the Good Trouble training, all you got to do, Jenna, is when you go to my link tree, you just click it. It's a Calendly link. Let me ask, can one of my regular subscribers or folks, can somebody jet over to YouTube and drop the link for tonight's training, like the actual Calendly link? Can you drop that into the chat? And can somebody drop it into the chat on Facebook as well? That would be hella helpful. So if you want to come to the workshop tonight, I've got some folks, thank you, Cam, that are going to run on over to YouTube and run it over to Facebook, and they're going to put that link in there for you so that you can easily register an RSVP. Now, once you get into Discord, so here's the thing about Discord. When you're in my link tree, that little, you signed up last week. Love that, Jenna. But so in Discord, here's all that happens. You click the little link that looks like a gaming controller. You click that link. Okay. Once you click it and you get into my Discord, on the left-hand side, there are what we call channels. They have all these hashtags. Okay. And once you're in that Discord, on the left-hand side, where those hashtags are, where those channels are, you're going to see verification. And you go through a verification process just so that we know who we are. We are very, very particular about our community. And the reason why is like we truly do support each other in our world. It's not just a place where people get together. We don't spend time in our Discord bitching and moaning about Trump or the Republican Party. We might share some links and things like that if something's happening in breaking news. But for the most part, love that, Mama CF. For the most part, we're in there talking about how can we support each other? How can we be active in our communities? How can we, help get us to the place that we need to be, by the time that the Commonwealth of Virginia and the state of New Jersey has their elections in the fall. And by the time we get to the midterms, right? So that's what we spend a lot of time focused on. So Jenna, then you should be good to go. Where you want to go after that is there's another channel over there that says general chat. There's also other links in there that you have access to. So all the channels should be available to you. Hey, Mama, good to see you. My mama just joined on Facebook. So thank you, Donoski, for doing all the sharing. Thank you guys for the likes already and getting us going. Welcome, Farah. Hey, Brittany. What's up, everybody? What's up, Sagittarius? I feel like I've missed some people joining because I was talking, and probably so. That is Eastern Standard Time, Patrice. It is. So the Good Trouble workshop tonight is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So I will record it, and then it'll take me a minute for me to get it downloaded and put up onto YouTube. I'm not so loud, please. I swear I need like a staff, but we ain't there yet. We are not there yet. Okay. So things I want to talk about today. There are definite, like we talked about yesterday, about the cracks within the, thank you, Camille, thank you, Cam. We talked about, thanks, Amy. Got it. Hug and kiss Miss Nora for us. So listen, we've been talking about the cracks that are within the Trump party, right? Are going to sign up. Oh, I love that, Farah. Love that. Love that. How many podcasts do I have out now? I don't know. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate you. I honest to goodness don't know, Cheryl. I do know that the podcast has passed 10,000 downloads in 5 months. So the podcast has been up at for 5 months now. Well, almost 5 months exactly. And we have surpassed 10,000 downloads, which is great and fantastic. Want to keep that going, which means I'm going to have to do things like I did this morning. Wake up an hour earlier, hour and a half earlier than the kiddos, and record things while they are asleep. That's how I did it today. And now I just have to go back and edit it and all the things. So yeah, so we have accomplished that. So I'm excited about that. We also have accomplished 50,000 followers on TikTok. And I think we're at about 500 and change subscribers. Some of them are directly through me. Plenty of them are through TikTok directly. TikTok is $2.99. For those of you guys that are on, hey Sandy, for those of you guys that are on YouTube and Facebook, I have not monetized YouTube and Facebook yet, and I know that I probably should. It is just difficult to do all the things that I need to do in life and make it happen. So I just do what I can, how I can, when I can. And then we just go from there. What's up, Chef Ryan? It's better over here. Yeah, slow chat on YouTube. That's the thing. And you know what I think part of it is, to be quite frank? I am using a third-party service to stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And I think follower engagement is lower that way because I don't think it has the same output. So what I'm working on now is I do have OBS, right? I do have the ability to multi-stream from there. So what I am working on next is getting my OBS completely set up to be able to stream to those places directly from me. And I think that will boost things over on that side of town, right? So thank you for the kisses, sis. Here you go. Here's your fruit snacks. You want to go over there, and I think your phone is charged. If not, if you want to find some more of the things and the pictures, you can. We've been doing hidden pictures in a book today that my mom, her Grammy, sent her for her and the kids. All right, so let's dive right in. So a couple of things that I want to talk about today is I have some clips. One of them I played for you yesterday from Ben Shapiro. Yeah, TikTok moves faster. I told y'all the algorithm on TikTok is just better. So it's one or two of them I played yesterday, but there are some other audio clips that I want to play for you today from people that would normally be fans of Trump, staunch Republicans, people in the Republican Party that view things a certain way. Love that. Yeah. And we'll go from there. So things that, and we talked about this yesterday, I should have put Josh Hawley up here too, but I didn't. And plus I just liked the even pictures, right? But things that weren't on my bingo card, right? Is agreeing with Mitch McConnell, Candace Owens, Rand Paul, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Laura Loomer, and Josh Hawley. Holy crap. Hey, Cheryl, in what world did we ever think that I would be saying the words, I agree with those folks? Yeah, they are spot on right now, right? Now, here's what I will say. My reasons for disagreeing, for the most part, aren't the same as their reasons, right? Their reasons for criticizing Donald Trump for wanting to accept a $400 million plane is not the same as my reason, right? We have different reasons, and that's okay. We ended up over there, right? So Henry C, let me help you out. It's YOU. I'm not going to do that to you. Come on, Henry, come tell me what you think I am. Because here's what I think is interesting, Henry. You came in and you said you are a liberal. And I guess my first question to you, Henry, is could you define for me what you consider to be a liberal?
Someone that goes around trying to destroy the very fabric of the United States of America with continuous, nonstop lies and rhetoric.
Okay, so could you tell me something that I've said today that is a lie?
I haven't. I just came in here like 2 seconds ago.
So you came in here 2 seconds ago and accused. Hold on a second, Henry, please. I didn't interrupt you, so please don't interrupt me. I like to do things respectfully. So you came in here 2 seconds ago, said that I'm a liberal. Your definition of a liberal is someone who goes around spreading lies, destroying the fabric of America, and yet you've not heard me tell one lie. Oh, and then you left my panel. Huh, that's interesting. And by the way, for those of you all who can't see Henry, Henry's profile picture is a cross. So I'm sure that's everything that Jesus wants you to do. Come in a room for 2 seconds, make allegations, make assumptions about people, and then run when you're proven to be wrong. That's interesting. What a way to start the damn day, right? Henry, you're welcome to come back up here if you would like, right? I certainly didn't kick you off the panel. But this is my thing. When people come in and they use words like you're a liberal, you're a fascist, you're a communist, you're a whatever, the very first thing that I want them to do is you're charging it. I don't know what that means, Henry C. You're charging your phone? Is that what you mean? The thing that when people do that, the very first thing that I want them to do is provide a definition. Oh, you're charging your phone? Well, if you're on TikTok, it uses the same battery, right? So if you're still on TikTok charging your phone, it takes the same amount if you were to join the panel. It takes the same amount of battery because you're not on video. If you were on video, then it would take more. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do, Henry, is I'm going to ask you to do a measure of good faith, right? And join the panel again so that you and I can finish our conversation. Let's do that. Oh, thank you, Farah, for that reminder. So, Henry, I would like for you to do that, please. Because here's the thing, folks, right? One of the reasons why I have people provide for me their definitions of a thing is to ensure that we are all on the same page and that we are talking about the same things. What I know to be true and what I have definitely seen over the last 8 to 10 years is that a lot of times you will see people, especially in political spaces, using terminology without having a clear, accurate definition of what that means, right? And so for me, I want to know what you consider whatever the thing is you said, define it for me. Let me know what you believe it is. And so when somebody says to me, oh, well, you're a liberal, tell me what that means to you. I've had guys say to me, well, are you a feminist? What's your definition of feminist? Right? Because what your definition of feminism is may not be what I am. And what I have found is that when we use language, we have to be careful that we have the right definitions of what that is, right? Just because there's a label, like if I say to you, I'm a mom, not all moms are the same. There are really awesome moms. There are shitty moms. There are stay-at-home moms. There are work outside the home moms. There are soccer moms. There are ballet moms. There are all different kinds of moms. And that one label of mom does not accurately describe every single individual. So if we want to have productive conversation, then it's really critical that we work with the same framework and the same definitions of words. Henry, I still don't see a request from you. What's up, Gemini? Where you at? Where you at, Henry? Come on back. What's up, Akaria? Next. Right. There are moms who haven't given birth. You've got it, Patrice. There's all kinds of moms, right? And so that's the thing, is to make sure that we are using the right language. What I see is that there are people, especially in the political arena, that don't have things aligned, right? So I've heard a ton of people, shut up, Cindy. Sandy's over on Facebook talking about I'm new here. Whatever, man. So let me just say this. So there are people that will say, I can't stand that Obamacare. That there Obama, he ain't do nothing right. Da 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 da. And yet, when you get into talking about healthcare, they are super grateful for the Affordable Care Act that allowed them to get insurance, even though they have pre-existing conditions, because they simply don't understand that the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are the same things, but they have a preset idea as to what that means. Henry, I'm not going to let you stay in the comments. I'm not. Listen, you are either going to be brave and get back up here on this panel, or you're going to get booted from my live. And the reason why is because you are running your jaws in the comments and you ran from this panel. So you get to choose, sir. You can either join this panel or I'll end up booting you from the live. And yes, that is censorship. And I'm allowed to do that, right? I am not the government. You're not entitled to free speech on my live. So I am allowed to have guidelines in here, and I'm allowed to expect people to go by them. So Henry C., please join to the panel or you'll be muted or booted from the live. No, he's not a bot, Ritz. He actually came up here and talked. He's not a bot. He's not a bot. He's already been up here. Yeah, Jeff, I'm willing to listen to your opposing idea. Come join the panel. Here, I'll help you, Jeff. I'm going to send you an invitation to come join the panel. Very open to hearing opposing views. As a matter of fact, I think when you see my live, it says respectful discussion, welcome. That's all discussion. Henry has already been on the panel, Jeff, right? Henry just left the panel. That's hilarious, Tweety. Yeah, you're welcome, Ritz. Yeah, I'm very open to opposing views. Love them, as a matter of fact. So I'm still waiting on Jeff and Henry to join the panel. That's what I'm waiting on. Because surely to goodness, these two men that are in the comments just yappity yapping their jaws don't have a problem with getting up on the panel and expressing their opposing views and engaging in a conversation, a respectful conversation. Oh, wow, Winn-Dixie. Yeah, so. Oh, that's hilarious, Sandy. Yeah, that's really what it is, Veronica Cox. Most of the time, what's up, Life on Purpose? It has been a while. No, I don't have to come to your live. Nope, you came to mine. So I don't play games either. An invitation to have you join the panel is not a game. You talking shit in my comments is playing silly games. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you don't have enough people to go live. Yeah, Jeff, you have 36 followers and 62 people that you're following. You don't even have enough people to go live. Stop lying. Stop lying. Damn, now you don't even have any credibility. I mean, not that you had any before that, but bruh, you can't even go live. What you talking about? You don't even have the ability. Oh, come on, Jeff. Good to see you.
Is this live right here? Am I live?
No, you're not.
Did I just go live right now?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not what it's called. Oh, and then he left. So let me explain, Jeff. You cannot go to your profile and go live. You have to piggyback off of my profile to go live. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. Oh, I know what it says. I did, Linda. That is, in fact, what I said. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, Truth, I'm glad you can go live. Jeff said that he could go live and he cannot. That's the point. Now, Truth, if you have something that you would like to discuss with me, feel free to join the panel. Right, mind of a ladybug. Tell me you don't understand TikTok without telling me you don't understand TikTok. Woof. Hey, Meg. Well, truth, come tell me what your truth is. Since you say I don't speak it. Here, let me help you. I'm going to send you an invitation. Look, boom, I sent you an invite. You're free to come on up here. Rhonda Bishop, we are going to be talking about all of the faces that you see in the image. So I specifically want to share some information that Mitch McConnell said when he was in Elizabethtown speaking to individuals. I think it will shock some people to hear the things that he said. Has anybody heard the actual remarks from Mitch McConnell from Elizabethtown? They are eye-opening and astounding. They are words I never thought I would hear Mitch McConnell speak. Oh, well, we're going to have a good time today because we're going to talk about what he said. We're also going to talk about Candace Owens. We're going to talk about Rand Paul. We're going to replay what we heard from Ben Shapiro yesterday. We'll touch on Laura Loomer just for a minute because she's part of the thing, right? And we'll go back and cover Josh Hawley again, right? No, TJ, I disagree. So there have been times when Mitch McConnell has spoken out against Donald Trump. The reality is that what he has not done is when the rubber meets the road, stood up to Trump. Throughout the years, he's gone back and forth for being against Trump and for Trump and against Trump and for Trump. So I've heard him say things against Trump before. I think the difference is that he's never had a spine to absolutely stand up to him. Yeah, Green Witch, it's on YouTube. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Linda, we're going to talk about those as well. So am I guessing that Truth, Jeff, and Henry, none of those men know how to get up on the panel and have a discussion? Is that what's happening? Hey, Truth, either get up on the panel, sir, or you're going to end up leaving my live. And it's not because I can't handle disagreeing. I don't like misinformation. And that is what you are doing. Oh, no, I don't push mute. You're not muted. I can see your comments right now. Now, you will be muted or booted from the live if you don't get up on the panel. Absolutely. Because what you're here for is not actual conversation. You're not here to talk facts. You're not here to have a conversation. You're not here to actually discuss the things that we're talking about. You're just here to be an asshole and be a troll, right? And so that's it, right? So if you want to get up here on the panel, let's do that. We can do that 100%. That is, listen, folks, that is why it actually says respectful discussion welcome, because all discussion is welcome as long as it's respectful, right? You lost. Truth, I didn't run for anything. So no, I didn't lose. I don't know if you thought you were, voting for me or something like that, but no. Yeah. So no, I won't mute you on the panel as long as you don't interrupt me. That's it. Right? As long as you're respectful, you don't get muted. You get muted when you're an asshole. That's what happens. All right. So let's go ahead and start. Titan, my kitty cat, y'all trying to get in the way of everything. All right. So let's go ahead and start with this. Is Jeff back? No, you don't get muted here. Stop lying. Stop lying. You hear Mila? Hi, Titan. Okay, so mods, I will let you go ahead and take care of Truth, Jeff, and Henry if they're not on the panel in another minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, well, I'll take care of it. That did it. That was enough for me. I don't do transphobia. Hey, not loud. I don't do transphobia. So Yeah, bro.
Who that?
I blocked you before anybody else
Who
could.
that?
Yeah, so I'm just going to be very, very clear. What,
Who
baby?
that?
What's what? These are sour.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't do transphobia. I don't do any kind of slurs, any of that stuff. All right. But I do want to talk to you all about Mitch McConnell. All right. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. So Mitch McConnell was in Elizabethtown, and you know, the folks that did this news report, they talked about not just the things that he said, but they also discussed, you know, his age, the fact that when he was walking down the hallways, that he was, you know, kind of leaning over, he was touching the side of the walls and all those types of things, and he was holding his hand's aid. He was holding his hand, his aide's hand, right? And so let me say this. I said this back. If you all remember the several times that Mitch McConnell froze on TV, right? Y'all remember that? It happened several times, and they were significant pauses, right? I said this back then. I do not celebrate anyone's medical or what appear to be medical issues, right? And I'm also careful, Jinping, I'm careful not to diagnose them. I cannot say that Mitch McConnell had a TIA. I'm not his neurologist, right? I cannot say what happened. All I know is that he was silent and appeared to be, you know, disconnected or disoriented and not involved, right? So thanks, Jennifer Lee. Hey, Wawa. So yeah, so I don't know what happened, but here's what I will say is a lot of people were saying horrible things about his medical condition, and that's what happened. Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying? And so this is the thing, okay? I do not well, first of all, let me just say this. I happen to believe that where I birth my energy from is how it comes back to me. So if I am wishing ill or celebrating someone else's illness, then I can expect that same kind of negative ass energy to come home to me. And I don't particularly need anything else. Life is enough ups and downs as it is, right? So that for me is my number one thing is I don't want to do that. Number two is I don't want to treat anybody the way that I don't want to be treated, even if they're an asshole, even if they are not a good person, even if I feel like they have sold the country out a time or two. And I do feel that way about Mitch McConnell, right? But at the end of the day, it's not because he deserves my compassion. It's because I choose to be a person that is compassionate. So the thing about this is that I don't believe in letting someone else dictate the way that I am. Yep, Brother B, I did. And if you say that again, you'll be blocked as well. And he didn't say they agree with. He said that liberals do that. So if you would like to discuss it, Brother B, we can go ahead and you can get on the panel too. So I just sent you an invitation. Oh, unblock him, Gemini. Just let me handle him first. He's brand new. So thank you, Gemini. I'll let you know when to unblock his ass or to reblock him. But Brother B, come on and join the panel. Because I haven't said anything hateful. Matter of fact, I literally just was talking about compassion. So yeah, not hateful, right? I think here's the thing. If you mean I'm hateful, that I don't let people spread hate or transphobia or things like that, then yeah, I will not let people do that in this room. I just won't, period, right? That to me is not hateful. Oh, well, let me help you with this. Brother B, since you want to be an asshole and call names, it's YOU apostrophe RE. I think what you were trying to say is you are a hateful liar, but what you said instead is you're a hatefully liar. And I think what you meant to say is take the LY off hateful and then use the apostrophe. So what that does is that apostrophe replaces the A in the word R, right? Which is ARE. So it's YOU apostrophe RE. And then you want to say A, hateful with one L. take that ly off, and then you can say liar. And if you want to be absolutely like correct, you could put a period at the end because that's a declarative statement. Hope that helps. And I wasn't going to be a bitch to you until you called me a liar, right? So, I can meet you where you are since you don't want to come up on the panel and just have a respectful conversation, right? But now we can point out your ignorance since you want to behave that way. It can happen. Just saying. Brother B is Henry. Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Just dump the profile that has a cross and come back with a different profile and act like the devil. Just saying. All right. So here's my thing. And I said this the other day. You can go ahead and block his ass now, Gemini. So here's what I said the other day about Mitch McConnell. I love the fact, are you a teacher? Are you a teaching English? Yeah, sometimes I will teach English when it's necessary, right? So let me just give you a little bit of background here. So this is my thought process when it comes to Mitch McConnell. Do I love the fact that Mitch McConnell is speaking out? I do. And let me also say this. Mitch McConnell is the reason we are in the mess that we are in, right? Mitch McConnell had the ability to save us from Donald Trump in the first administration, right? So while it's great that he is now doing the bare minimum on his way out the damn door, it does not excuse his behavior, right? And it's the same way that I feel about Pence, right? So I'm just going to tell you, Mike Pence, I am thrilled. I love the fact that Mike Pence did not solidify the coup and overthrow the American government. Love that. Great. Sure. Celebrate it. But here's the thing. Mike Pence could have taken care of this shit while he was in office. He got all the way up to the line, and it was only the line that could have cost him his freedom that he said no to, period. Because I can guarantee you this, if Pence's attorneys had come back, because let me tell you, so the vice president has his own counsel and the president has his own counsel. And then independent from that are the White House counsel. Did you all know that? So the White House has counsel for the White House. The president has counsel for the president, and the vice president has independent counsel as well, right? And in his testimony, Mike Pence let them know that his counsel had advised him that what they were proposing was not legal. Now, I can tell you that if his attorneys had been able to come back in any way, shape, or form and say, I think VP Pence, you can legally get away with it this way, that would have happened, right? Thank you for the kisses. But it didn't. So again, while I love the fact that you held a stop, you could have absolutely done it much further in advance. So Scottsdale Realtor, you are invited to join the panel as well. If you've got an opinion about what I'm saying, then hop up on the panel and let's discuss it. Right? We're going to be respectful. We're going to listen, guys, it literally says, be respectful, no slurs, no spamming, no all caps. And as long as you can do that, we'll get along just fine. I know, Cam, I'm behind on new stickers, but I will get them out. I will make them happen. What's up, Valerie Johnson? It has been a minute. Don't hit it, please. All right, so let's take a look. Having said all of that, I want you to hear. Oh, she scared the shit out of Titan. And you okay, baby?
Yeah, fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You tripped on that cord.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
The baby tripped, and Titan was hauling ass. Did you see it? Evangelist Mac, you can feel free to go talk about Jesus on your own live, not this one. Okay. And the reason why is because this is not a religious life. this is not a religious live, and I believe that people are entitled to their own religion. I do not use my live to try to evangelize anyone else at all. So if you would like to do that, you have your own space. If you continue to not do that in this here, then hey, not loud. Okay, that will be an issue, right? So just letting you know. Okay. Yeah, evangelist. Let me just give you this, Mac. God is good with me. Just so you know, God and Jesus both, by the way, are super good with me. And so is Buddha, so is Allah, so are the gods and goddesses, so is Confucius, so is all the ascended masters love me. Just to go there. Yeah, and if that's Henry again, block his ass again. Ooh. You see how I just lump it all together? Okay, so here we go. So let's go ahead and talk about Mitch McConnell. Yeah, listen, Henry is going to be like some of the others. Do y'all remember? Right, honeypot. So let me just tell y'all this. You know what? They say when they do this, when they come back with 2 or 3 profiles, it is because they secretly are a Democrat and a liberal. That's what it is. They want to be converted. That's what it is. And I just chuckle because what you coming in here for? It's because secretly you want to be changed. Okay, so I want you all to listen to what Mitch McConnell says, okay? Make sure I turn it up so everybody can hear. Here we go.
It's the authoritarians versus the Democrats. Obviously, the Democrats need to be more aggressive.
So stop right there. He said it's the authoritarians versus the Democrats. And he says, obviously, the Democrats need to be more aggressive. Right? So
obviously,
okay, let me go back just a little bit. Here we go.
Republican leader.
Listen.
It's the authoritarians versus the Democrats. Obviously, the Democrats need to be more aggressive. That includes NATO spending more.
Putin reportedly calling on Trump to end.
Okay, so let me tell you the rest of what he says, because holy geez, people. So he's asked about the relationship between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. Listen to what he says about this. I know, Lisa, I know. Y'all are like, wait a minute, what? I know. So listen to this.
And Vladimir Putin right now.
Well,
Listen.
I think we're all watching the beginning of a rather different kind of administration. I think the Ukrainian.
Watch what eating
Oh,
vegetables
no.
does to your waistline.
It's mad at my
Apparently, thousands
ad.
of
Hold
people
on a
are
second.
already following this simple bed.
I think the Ukrainians
Have to win.
have to
I don't
win.
think the European countries are going to abandon them, no matter what we decide. I want to avoid a war. And the way to do that is for your enemies to be afraid of you.
Are they?
That's what Reagan proved.
McConnell's a month removed from announcing his retirement at the end of his term. He walked in slow.
So listen, so then he goes on to say, he said, I think the Ukrainians have to win. He said, I do not believe that the Europeans are going to, I don't think that the Europeans are going to abandon them no matter what we decide, right? And hold on one second. He then goes on to talk about the trade war, but hold on a second. I want to get to this last part, this other part. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Where is it? Y'all know I got several of these lined up. So, where is the last part, bro? He literally says, he goes on to say that the Democrats have to win. But hold on, let me just see. Hold on. Da 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 da. So they're asking about tariffs, and here's the other thing that he says about tariffs. So
Shelves. I'm hoping that the president will be satisfied here sometime soon.
Meanwhile, the race to fill his Senate seat is already heating up.
So he's talking about the tariffs. You know that they are wreaking havoc on Kentucky bourbon and Kentucky whiskey, right? Oh, thanks, Thomas Griffin. I appreciate that. And right, Linda Sims. And so I don't think that I ever thought I would have the day where I would hear Mitch McConnell say the Democrats need to be more aggressive. He said this in Elizabethtown. He was in Elizabethtown. It was just a few weeks ago. And and it's funny because if you see the comments are like, if you did your job, we wouldn't be in this mess now. True. Other people ashamed of McConnell. Had he done his job, we wouldn't be here today. Other people, Mitch McConnell is the very reason we are in this mess, right? And that's the truth, right? He is responsible for where we are. Now, having said that, let me also say this. If by some chance his words and his position now empowers someone else or other Republicans to get their shit together and stand up, then keep saying it, Mitch. Keep saying it and saying it loud, because there's nothing they can do to you anyway, right? You're on your way out the door, right? And be done with it. So, here's my thing. Better late than never. And let's just see where it goes from here. But it's one of the reasons I have his picture up here is because I never, ever thought, well, no, because Cam, in all fairness, let me just say this. He has spoken out against Trump previously. The bottom line, though, is that he didn't ever stand up to him before. And that's the difference, right? That's the difference. So, but along those same lines are some things that I want you to hear other folks have said. One of those folks being a person that, number one, I will say is smart, good God, smart, and a sellout who is full of shit and could be so much better than she is. Okay? Anybody want to guess who I'm talking about next? Without looking at the picture. Who am I talking about? Yeah, Candace. And as soon as I said, don't look at the picture, all y'all were like, who's in the picture? Yes, Candace Owens. So let me just give you all a little glimpse into Candace Owens so that you all know who I'm talking about. Candace Owens has proclaimed that she has never experienced racism herself. She has said that, there's no such thing as racism in this country. She has said that there's no such thing as white privilege. She has said all of those types of things. And prior to the 2016 election, Candace Owens was running a blog. That blog was Something 360. Okay. And when she was running that blog, okay, she it wasn't the ACLU, Geo, it was actually the NAACP. So here's what she did. When Candace Owens was 18 years old, she had experienced racism by 5 white students at her high school. And with those 5 white students at her high school, the NAACP came in, did a lawsuit on her behalf. She won $37,500. So when Candace Owens says to people, oh, I've never experienced racism, lies. When Candace Owens says there's no such thing as racism or white privilege, because one of the 5 white boys, and the reason they got away with it is because one of the 5 white boys was was either like the mayor or the superintendent. One of the white boys' fathers was in an elevated position. And that is what happened. So if you Google Candace Owens NAACP lawsuit, you will see that Owens family received a $37,500 settlement from the Stanford Board of Education after she accused a group of teens. Sorry. Hold on. I don't know why it's taking so long to load for me, but it is. You okay, sis? Yeah. So, yeah, she has literally said America is not a racist country, but she accused a group of teens of leaving her threatening and racist messages while she was in high school in 2007. And so she would say things like, stop selling us our own oppression, stop taking away our self-confidence by telling us that we can't because of racism, because of slavery. I've never been a slave in this country. These are all the things that Candace Owens has said in the past. She is 100% an opportunist. She is 100% somebody who sold her damn soul for money. So if you do this and you do Candace Owens and you do 2015 blog on Trump, here's what you see. It was actually called hold on a second. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh my God, it's something 360. Holy hell. Where is the name of it? Yep. So she had a blog, Degree 180. Sorry, y'all, not 360, 180. The website was called Degree 180, and it featured articles on lots of different topics, but also political commentary that was written by herself and other contributors. And so the site's no longer active, but of course you can do the Wayback Machine if you want to find it. And so some of the content has been archived and you can find it through that, right? She criticized Trump, right? And all of these things. And so an article that happened back then, she said, October of 2015, news update. The Republican Tea Party is led by the Mad Hatter. Interesting, right? She wrote that Degree 180 had launched an unofficial, quote unquote, full-scale investigation into the batshit crazy antics of the Republican Tea Party. And then she said, quote, the good news is they will eventually unalive off peacefully in their sleep, we hope. And then we can get right on with the obvious social change that needs to happen immediately. Those are the things that Candace Owens said in 2015, before all of a sudden she had a fat paycheck and she was on with Ben Shapiro and all the things. And so then her blog post title became Liberals, I'm a conservative and that's okay too. Right? Right. Right, Sammy J. And so listen at her about Donald Trump right now. And this is about Donald Trump and Harvard University, right? So if you thought that oh shit, I don't know what I just did. If you thought that agreeing with Mitch McConnell wasn't on your bingo card, I can promise you that this also was not on your bingo card prior to today. Are you ready? Here we go. This is Candace Owens, and this is from just 2 weeks ago. Take a listen.
I never thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen? Going after college universities, trying to suppress speech, while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing. People who are still trying to grift, I suppose, are not willing to challenge you on this, which is ridiculous, because when you are out of office, we are going to have to live with these consequences. Our children are going to have to grow up in this America. Okay. So when you threaten our speech, it's not worth it. So that we can have pom-poms and go hurrah for a couple of years, then go, okay, well, yeah, now it kind of stinks because, oh, we're getting arrested for wrongthink. We got David Friedman. Yeah. Oh,
Yes, she did say grift. Yes, she did say, oh, I guess the people still trying to grift aren't going to call you on this, aren't going to say anything to you. So what do you mean, Candace? You're no longer trying to grift? Is that what it is? So now that you're no longer trying to grift, you're willing to speak out against Donald Trump coming after Harvard University? Right. Not her calling out grifters as a grifter. You got it. Absolutely. So this is her on her own show, talking about it over on the Facebook. They're like, what? Yes. So let me keep going. So listen, for the person who says, oh, I think she's anti-Semitic. Listen, I'm not here to talk about her views on Semitism. I'm just not. I know that the Daily Wire booted her out for that. That's not the subject today. The subject matter today is no, she's been preggo before, Simply Debbie. She has a child already with her husband. Yeah, being pregnant is not what did it. You know, she has this is my thing. If you haven't ever really listened to Candace, she is an intelligent woman. She really is. She just has, right, Terry Bora, 2 kids. So being pregnant isn't the thing that did it. But I'm just saying, but listen to the rest of what she has to say, because, okay, so when she says Donald Trump being pro-free speech, here's what she's referring to. What she's referring to is during C-19 and Facebook censoring misinformation around that. That's what she's referring to. When she's talking about Trump supporting free speech, she means misinformation and disinformation. That's what she means, which he is an advocate of free speech when it comes to that. There's no denying that fact, right? He does love that. People should be able to say whatever they want to say unless it is against him, unless it's in opposition to him, unless it's the facts that prove what he said is wrong. That's what we know to be true. That's exactly why he said to the ABC News reporter that she's from ABC fake news, and that they need to do something about her. She should be ashamed for asking that question, right? And so I'm just saying, this is what people need to understand about this entire situation. So I'm going to go back, let you guys listen to that first part again, because she talks about more than that. She goes on to talk about Harvard's response, and then speech censorship overall. But here's the part.
I never thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen? Going after college universities, trying to suppress speech, while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing. People who are still trying to grift, I suppose, are not willing to challenge you on this, which is ridiculous, because when you are out of office, we are going to have to live with these consequences. Our children are going to have to grow up in this America. Okay. So when you threaten our speech, it's not worth it. So you can have pom-poms and go hurrah for a couple of years, then go, okay, well, yeah, now it kind of stinks because, oh, we're getting arrested for wrongthink. We got David Friedman. Yeah, arrest him. Arrest Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Get them. I love it. Everyone can see what's happening left and right. Harvard received notice.
So I just think, yeah, and this is the thing, allowing to happen or instigating. Yeah, he's definitely instigating the action, Hawk, right? We know that to be true. And so let me just say this. I think of Candace just like I think of the rest of them, right? I think that, like I said, she's intelligent. So is Ben Shapiro, though. Let me just say this. So is Ben Shapiro, right? Oh, good God. Here's another one. So H2O, join the panel, please. period. I'm not having a conversation with you in the chat. No, Rebel, I don't think that they are realizing that they went too far. Because, so here's the thing. I don't for 1 second believe that Candace Owens did not read Project 2025. I don't believe at all that she isn't aware, right? H2O.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. So, you're kind of jumping all around in the comments a little bit. So do you want to share with me kind of what your, I guess, your position or your point is about Candace Owens?
I'm confused. I'm just saying I'm confused on her stance. Like she's saying that he's against free speech. I don't understand that. I think he's more against the destruction of property and not allowing students to go to class. That sort of thing. I don't think he's ever been against free speech. Say what you want to say, just don't interrupt class or hurt people or that kind of thing.
Well, no, I mean, so the Harvard University folks that protested or whatever, the people that they arrested weren't involved in any type of damage of property. The guy that they arrested, he didn't participate in any damage to property at all.
Okay, so the Harvard one is the gentleman that was deported. Is that correct?
Which gentleman that was deported?
I'm just confused because from all the information that I gathered, anybody that was deported or expelled or whatever was proven that they were, terrorists. They were doing terrorist things.
No, ma'am, that's not accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not accurate at all. So 200 Venezuelans were deported and sent to CCOT with absolutely no evidence at all that they were part of a terrorist organization or that they had participated in any type of gang activity or anything whatsoever. So no, that's not accurate at all. They literally didn't even have
the argument now. Y'all,
yeah.
Y'all just, I got it. You don't believe what the Trump administration or anybody in that administration says.
No, I believe what the courts said.
And I believe the ICE judges, when they first were, tried to come into the country.
What ICE judges?
They didn't. They came in illegally.
No, ma'am, they did not.
Yeah,
they didn't.
I get the argument now. So
do you know what happened? Do you know how the Venezuelans got here?
Stop being a grifter, I guess.
So H2O. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second.
Deported under the administration was deported.
H2O. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do here is I like to talk about facts and sources, and she left, but that's fine. Let me be clear. We don't have ICE judges. We have immigration judges. That is not the same thing, okay? If an immigration judge had determined that any of these individuals were here illegally, they would have been deported before Trump ended their temporary protected status. So understand that we had a temporary protected status for Venezuelans specifically to come here. They had to go through a whole program, be sponsored, do all the things to get here. And this has been happening for several years now. So let's just be clear about that. First of all, temporary protected status is what we had in place for Venezuelans and some other folks. Now, why would we do that for Venezuelans? Because we helped fuck up their country. That would be why. That would be why. Just to be clear, so that people get it. I think that, if we're going to talk about facts, right, then that's what we have to do. Give me a second. So I want to, because I like to give sources. Oops, give me 1 second. So during the first, and this is important for people to know, okay? All right, so pay attention, folks. And this article is from the National Immigration Forum. It is dated January 29th of 2025. The press release is entitled, yes, baby.
What time is it?
It is 1:46. Okay. So the title of this press release is Trump protected Venezuelans before and should again. And so here's what it says. On Tuesday, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem vacated an earlier notice that extended a temporary protected status designation for Venezuela. The action threatens protections and work authorization for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan temporary protected status holders. The first Trump administration granted Venezuelans protection from deportation before leaving office. Nope, Uka, I see you. In 2021. So just so that we're clear, here's the actual memorandum, and I will put this link in the link tree for you. It's called Memorandum on Deferred Enforced Departure for Certain Venezuelans, Foreign Policy, issued January 19, 2021. Memorandum for the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Homeland Security, subject, deferred enforced departure for certain Venezuelans. So this is actually from the Trump administration before he left office during the first term. He granted them the temporary protected status. And it is this administration, this second time around, that he took away that protected status in order to deport those folks that he had already given protected status to. All right. So it's really important for people to know facts before you run your mouth, especially in my live, like 100%. Okay. So it's important for people to know that information ahead of time. Okay. So just so we're clear. There's another part that I want to give you too. All right, so let me just kind of give you a bunch of information. So there were certain things that the United States did that impacted Venezuela. Number one, it was the sanctions, right? So we had individual, financial, and sectoral sanctions on the Venezuelan government, okay? We also had sanctions on the Maduro government and its supporters. We had sanctions that were targeting their oil sector, which contributed to a fall in oil production, such that even as global oil prices rebounded, Venezuela's economy did not ever recover. So when you ask, what did we do? That's part of what we did. And there's more than that. No. Dax, the answer is no. No. There are people that have been, that are going through the asylum process that have been scooped up by ICE. Those folks are not safe at all. Just so that we're very clear. And Venezuela is one of the main reasons that we have record numbers of immigrants that were coming here, especially in 2023 and 2024. Right? So there was a lot done to destabilize that country. And you might want to ask why. It's because Venezuela is rich in natural resources. 100% rich in natural resources. Damn near more than anybody else, by the way. Ain't that a funny fact? Did you know that? Okay, let me give it to you. What, baby? Yeah, it's okay. You can play with it. So oil is one of their biggest natural resources. Can't imagine why we would want to destabilize a country that had, oil resources. I don't know. Have we ever done that before? Has the United States of America ever messed with a country that had significant oil resources? Yes, baby.
Let me have some.
Which one, baby?
That one.
Okay, but it's sour. Just saying, right? Right. Yes, people have been scooped up at their ICE meetings, at their court hearings. People have been scooped up. Okay. Exactly. Revoked their temporary status, forcing them to be out of status, and then those people get picked up. Exactly. So, hey, Emmy, good to see you, right? In addition, it's also natural gas, right? And iron ore. Matter of fact, listen to this. It has the world's largest proven oil resources. Isn't that funny? Do you want to know where I first learned that? It's funny because I had to look it up as soon as I heard it. So I was watching that that show on Prime, Jack Ryan. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a show on Prime called Jack Ryan, and it's really good. And I think it's in season 2. Dr. Jack Ryan is teaching in a class, right? And he's talking about which country has the greatest natural resources. And all these students are guessing different countries. And he says, no, it's Venezuela. And I was like, what? Is that a real thing? And so me, being who I am, I Googled it, went down a, squirrel all the way down the hole. But yes, no, it's a fact. And that's where I first began to kind of go, holy shit. And so that explains a lot of things. So I think that it's important for people to understand when I'm talking about facts. When people say you don't believe anything the administration says, that's not true. What is definitely true is that I am 100% skeptical of anything the administration says because they have been proven to be liars. So folks, that's not being a liberal. That's just good damn common sense. Once people show you who they are, believe them, right? So when people say to me, oh, well, you think the press secretary lies? I do. Why do I think that? Because she's been a proven liar. That's why. It's just that simple. So it's not, oh, I don't trust the administration because they're the Trump administration. I don't trust the administration because they lie. And it's proven that they are liars. Period. So just saying. Right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right. So that's why I'm that way. I'm always going to be skeptical of what they say. Matter of fact, I'm skeptical of what damn near every politician says. There are very few people in political office that I will hear what they say and go, okay. And then I'm still going to second guess it. I'm still going to check it, right? I'm still going to do that, right? Right, Cam, I'm questioning it. What's up, Swells? Good to see you. So Brightbird, you've been in here quite a bit with a lot to say. And so I'm going to go ahead and send you an invitation to join the panel and let's discuss some of the things that you're saying. I would love to have a respectful conversation with you. Let's do that. I sent you an invite, so hopefully you'll be able to join, right? Absolutely, Kath, Jordy. All right. So, so when we're talking about, I can't even remember. Oh, so we were talking about, hey, BA, we were talking about Candace Owens and her spiel about Donald Trump now. And so again, it was not on my bingo card to be able to say in 2025, I agree with Mitch McConnell or Candace Owens. And yet here we go. And I do. Same thing. I agree with Ben Shapiro, even though I don't agree with him for his reasons. And I don't ever expect that to change. I can't imagine a world in which that shit would ever be on my bingo card. But here's Ben Shapiro talking specifically about Donald Trump and his plans to accept this $400 million jet from Qatar. All right. So here we go.
The Trump administration is now preparing to accept a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. It is a $400 million gift available for use by President Trump as new Air Force One until shortly before he leaves office, at which time, according to the deal, the plane doesn't stay with the United States government. It then moves to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation, taking sacks of goodies from people who support Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al Jazeera, all the rest. That's not America first. Like, please define America first in a way that says you should take sacks of cash from the Qatari royals who are behind Al Jazeera. It just isn't America first in any conceivable way. So back to the original question. Is this good for President Trump? Is it good for his agenda? Is it good for draining the swamp and getting things done? The answer is no, it isn't. It isn't. If you want President Trump to succeed, this kind of skeezy stuff needs to stop.
So here's what I love about that entire thing is, well, there's two things. A, stacks of cash, and skeezy things. It's those two descriptors for me, right? It's those two. Stacks of cash and skeezy things have to stop. Oh my gosh, right. Look at him calling a thing, right, Chef Ryan, right? And so it's interesting to me. Nope. And Linda Sims, we're going to talk about that. So I want to be very clear about something. I'm going to play a clip from Donald Trump, and then I'm going to tell you the truth about it and what it actually means, because it probably doesn't mean what you thought that it meant and what many, many Americans think that it means. So let me find the daggone clip, because there's a bajillion of them that I have pulled up. Do not judge me for all of the daggone browsers that I have open, because they are many right now. Oh, come on, Bison, come join me. If you're not a troll, a bot, or just a weak man wanting to be bold in the comments, please accept my invitation to come up on the panel. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're not any of those things. And we can go ahead and get rid of Brightbird. Well, Bison, I'm willing to see how much knowledge you have. Come on up here. And I'm not a Democrat, by the way. Oh, he knows that, Dirty Bad Bloggers. He knows that. I believe this is it. Let's see what we got. Nope, I still don't see Bison. Where are you? Yeah, Gemini is quick with it. I love it. Oh, Bison's not real, so I'll just go ahead and take care of you too. Boom, done. Okay, all right, so listen to Donald Trump talk about accepting this jet from Qatar. After the damn ad plays, of course. Good gosh. It's a lot. Bison has been muted, y'all. You won't be able to hear anything Bison says. I really hope this thing hurries up and plays. For goodness sake.
Has ever asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet? And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
Well, I think what happens with the plane is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking
Where did it go?
Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. If we can get a 747 as a contribution,
oh my God,
to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about...
Hold on for a second. Linda, supporting Democrats doesn't mean you are a Democrat. Do you understand how that works? I can support someone running for office regardless of their political party. That doesn't mean I belong to their political party. So be careful before you call me a liar with your non-comprehending ass. That's what you should do. Okay, I'm going to finish right here.
We have 40-year-old aircraft.
Do you plan to use the plane after you leave office?
No, I don't. No, it would go directly to the library after I leave office. I wouldn't be using it. No.
Okay, so in that clip, he says it would go directly to the wire, da 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 da, right? Now, I want to show you this other clip of him talking about this, and it's the rest of that interview. So this is why I think that people should always go further, because when he actually finishes, when you listen to the entire clip, he doesn't stop there. That's when CNN chose to cut off the clip that they played. The rest of it, yeah, just go ahead and block Linda's ass. I'm good with that too. Yeah, there's a bunch of trolls today. I don't know what that's about. But let me go ahead and pull this up for you. Yes, baby.
Can you put some more?
One more. And that's it, my dear.
Okay, let me get one.
Which one?
I want some pink.
One of this?
Yeah, pink.
Oh, girl, I'm shocked you like those. You like these sour things?
Yeah, already hot.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Okay. Pink. Not red.
Girl.
Not pink one.
Okay, pick it. Which one? You got it?
Not pink.
I don't know. Baby, you keep saying pink, and I think they're all red. They just have different coatings on them. That's what I think.
Really hot
Is that the one you want?
to do.
I don't want to put it in my mouth, baby.
To do. I want to put it in your tongue.
Yeah, I don't want you to put it on my tongue.
To do. To do this. To do. That's why you get hot.
Okay, but there's a reason I don't eat them, because Tutu doesn't like them. I want to put it on your tongue. Girl, I don't want you to put it on my tongue. Do you want one of these colors? This one won't be hot. You want this one? Because it won't be hot. Okay, take that one. Okay.
Baby, I'm hot.
What?
I want to all hot.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Put it in what?
Y'all, I was not letting that girl put that piece of candy in my mouth. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ooh, did y'all see my whole face? No, absolutely not. Okay, so I need to get to the other video that I have pulled up of Trump talking about this very thing, because what he says at the end, and here it goes. Thank you, Lo P. Okay, listen. Yeah, Big Hershey, she was setting me up. Okay, so listen, this is the rest of that interview that CNN didn't put on their website, which is, again, why I say always go looking for more information. So this is the rest of what he had to say, because remember, they cut it off at, it will go to the Trump library, right? But listen.
We've helped them a lot over the years in terms of security and safety. I think that, and very, very nicely, and I have a lot of respect for the leadership and for the leader, Qatar. And I think they knew about it because they buy Boeings. They buy a lot of Boeings. And they knew about it. And they said, we would like to do something. And if we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department, to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones. I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it.
That's a technical term.
So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer.
We know.
I could be a stupid person, say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane.
Listen.
But I thought it was a great gesture. And I think it was a gesture because of the fact that we have helped and continue to, we will continue to, all of those countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and others. We keep them safe. If it wasn't for us, they probably wouldn't exist right now. And I think this was just a gesture of good faith. And I don't get it. Someday it'll be like Ronald Reagan. They decommission them. You know, they get to a certain age and
Listen.
decommission them. It'll go to my library. They're talking about going to my library.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it
Your
behind?
ABC fake news, right?
Why not
Only,
make
only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
So let me just tell you. Yes, he called her ABC fake news, said that she should be embarrassed asking that question, which I don't know, the whole damn world is asking that question. But this is what he does. You disagree with him, you question him, you try to hold him accountable. Yeah, Tracy. So let me just tell you this. Yes, baby. You can play in it. So let me tell y'all this. When he says it's going to go to my presidential library or to my presidential library foundation, how many of you all know how the presidential library and presidential library foundations work? Are any of you all familiar with it? Because this is good stuff. Oh, I love it. I love that you don't know and I get to share with you. I love when we get to talk about new information, right? Okay, so check this out. So first of all, the article that I'm writing is from Freedom of the Press Foundation. The individual that wrote this article used to work for the National Archives. That's kind of important, right? Hey, not so loud. Thank you. That's kind of really important. And the other thing that I love about this article is she does what I do. She gives you links to absolutely everything that she is claiming in this article. So, love facts. I love it when you give me sources for the facts. And I love that you're someone who actually worked in the place that we're talking about. Okay. So, again, this is from the Freedom of the Press Foundation. The person writing an article is Lauren Harper. Now, here's what you might be surprised by, because I was. So listen to the title of this article, and then I want you to guess when this article was written. Okay? So listen to this. Trump's presidential library could be a scam. Somebody guess what month this article was written in. I don't think so, Sandy. Don't jinx me with it, Sandy. Somebody guess. When do you think this article was written? Swell says January. Terry Boris says a year ago. Farrah says February. Hector says this month. I got September. I got June. I got March. IDK. 2014, 2018, January 2017. Okay. Love it. All of them wrong. It was written, I mean, technically 2024 is accurate because the article was written in December of 2024. And here's why. This is a fun fact that I did not know until I went researching this stuff to prepare for this broadcast and the podcast episode that's going out today. So, do you all remember when ABC settled its defamation lawsuit with Donald Trump in December of 2024? Do you remember when that happened? So guess what? Yep, a new episode, Swells. So guess what the terms of that settlement was? The terms of that settlement says that the money will go for, get this, the establishment of, quote, Trump's Presidential Foundation and Museum. It's $15 million, not 50, $15 million for the establishment of Trump's Presidential Foundation and Museum. Now, let's just start right there. Now, but some people are saying, no worry, Mr. Barrios. So some people are saying the money is going to go towards Trump's presidential library. Well, that isn't any better or maybe even any different, because did you all know, could you fathom such a world in which Congress has not passed hardly any laws or regulations around donations for presidential libraries and their foundations and museums? Can you imagine that? And can you imagine that the foundations and the museums are not controlled by the National Archives? The only part that is controlled or that could be controlled by the National Archives is the presidential library, although the National Archives actually has no say in what's put in the presidential library. Hey, Warner, does that not just make you go, what? Oh my gosh. So listen, holy crap, I need a drink of water after that. This is really crazy, y'all. When I read, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Hold on. So, fun fact. Yes, Lavonda Bricky, definitely so. And that's not even hyperbole. So listen, Grammy said, hell, I need a drink after that. So let me just kind of give you this. So in Nixon's museum, for instance, there's a Watergate exhibit that baselessly accused Washington Post reporter Bob Woodward and called Bernstein of quote unquote offering bribes to further their famous coverage, end quote. That inaccurate exhibit was on display for 17 years. So this is the thing that is important, okay? Is that the National Archives does not control the actual information in the presidential library, museum, or foundation. Right, Blue Honey Pot. But I got to tell you something. So listen, so there is a difference between the foundations, museums, and then the libraries, although they are all connected. And most of the time, the library is on the same campus as the foundation / museum, in which they don't control the information. Okay. So check this out. Holy crap. So just so that you all understand this, previous presidents have built massive campuses with private offices, museums that have been criticized for misrepresenting history, and sometimes, although not always, there are government-run libraries that struggle to provide access to presidential records. What do I mean with that they struggle to provide access to presidential records? You would think that if it's government-run, it should be a cinch to get presidential records, would you not? Except the national, oh, thanks, Witch. The NARA has actually hold on a second. I can't do two things at once. I mean, I do two things at once, but not these two things because I need my eyes and I can't do my eyes in more than one place. So hold on. Okay. Thanks for the reminder. So the problem is that NARA, the National Archives, can sometimes request information and no, ma'am, don't yell. And it take years to get the information that they need. Okay, one moment. So to give you an example, hey, Bronze, let me just give you all this. The nonprofit, the national, they have, well, I don't want to read that part yet. Let me just tell you this. NARA, the National Archives, is currently, listen to this, suing the George W. Bush Library because they have been waiting 12 years on a single declassification request. Can you believe that? So this is the National Archives suing the George W. Bush Library because they've been waiting for 12 years for a single declassification request. And NARA, which is the National Archives, they estimate that it will take over 100 years to make all of the Reagan White House documents publicly available. Holy shit, right? Now, let's go back. Let's go back up here and let's talk some more. So, here's what's really interesting. So, the ABC settlement does not mention a library. It specifically mentions a Trump Presidential Foundation, right? Similar to what other presidents have built. It doesn't mention a library. And get this, most of the presidential museums and foundations and libraries that have been built previously come from anonymous donors, including a lot of people that don't want to give normal campaign disclosure requirements. So I might not want to contribute to your campaign, but I might want to give $2 million to your Presidential Library Foundation. Why? Because there are laws regarding campaign donations and campaign finances. There's not too many here, right? So get this. There are presidential library experts that have actually called the foundation library system a scam and said that it is at its breaking point. Why is this an issue? Because Congress appropriates very little money to the National Archives and Records Administration to build presidential libraries for the public to conduct research and access presidential records. So as a result, the National Archives is dependent on the fundraising efforts of private presidential foundations to build them. National Archives takes control of the libraries once they are built, right? But like I said, they are usually part of much, much larger museums and facilities, right? So listen to this. The Ronald Reagan Presidential Library is just one part of a 250,000 square foot complex. I get so angry about this because we have children that are starving, people. What in the absolute hell are we doing? So, in addition to the retired Air Force One that's in that facility, there's also a banquet hall that can seat 1,600 people and a reassembled Irish pub that Reagan visited in the 1980s. How about that? Now, guess what? Presidential foundations do not have to build government-run libraries. Okay? They don't even have to do that. And there's one who didn't, and that's Barack Obama. Mila, don't sing your song so loud. President Barack Obama's $700 million center does not have a NARA presence. How about that? Barack Obama does not have a government-run library as part of their foundation. So, fundraising for presidential complexes is big business, right? There are very few rules or donation disclosure requirements for these facilities, whether they have government libraries or not, okay? So, this obviously raises concerns about conflicts of interest and things like that. But this is not some abstract concern. This is not people thinking about something that might or might not ever happen. Guess what, folks? It's happened. And we didn't learn from it. Listen, here we go. You ready? GOP lobbyist Stephen Payne promised foreign entities access to the George W. Bush administration in exchange for six-figure donations to its presidential center. So they said to these foreign entities, you can have access to the president's administration if you'll give six-figure donations to the foundation for the presidential center. And why do we know this was a thing? Because it was investigated in Congress. So Representative Henry Waxman, who was a Democrat, chairman of the House Oversight and Government Relations Committee, announced that he was investigating, this is in 2008, by the way, July 14, 2008, will investigate Stephen Payne, a GOP lobbyist with ties to the Bush administration, who allegedly solicited donations for the library in return for meetings with top administration officials. There was even a video that was included in an article that was in the Sunday Times of London. And he's a major fundraiser for the Bush campaign in 2000 and 2004. And he is seen telling Eric Doss, ERICDOS, Eric Doss, a Kazakh politician whose full name is something I cannot pronounce, Yerzhan whatever, that he can help arrange meetings with top Bush officials for Askar Akayev, the former president of Kyrgyzstan, who is now in exile in Moscow, in return for a donation to the yet-to-be-built Bush Library. Payne suggested that Dost get Akayev, or more precisely, his children, to kick in maybe... I got you, babe. Hold on. That's right. We don't put toys in the potty. Yeah. I know you love that song. It's kind of catchy. Yeah. So listen, this is on the video. He tells them on the video that he could get his children to, quote unquote, kick in maybe a couple $100,000 or something like that. Not a huge amount, but enough to show that they're serious, end quote. So the Sunday Times reporter had secretly videotaped his meeting, and now this member of Congress was now launching an investigation. So again, having presidential libraries and presidential museums and presidential foundations being used for foreign entities to inappropriately have contact and make deals with administrations is not something that we haven't seen before. Yes, baby. Of course you can. So, I wanted everybody to understand this, because when he says it's going to my Trump presidential library, that doesn't mean shit. The government does not own it. And the library does not have to be controlled by the National Archives. Yes, baby. Yeah, you want me to open them? So, right, not a huge amount, Rebecca Little Bird. So listen, that's also another problem that I have with these people. The lobbyists, the Congress people, the presidents. When Donald Trump so casually says $400 million, $1 billion, whatever it is, that tells you how out of touch they are with reality. Because I can promise you that you or I could tell the damn difference between 400 million and $1 billion damn dollars. That's a huge difference. But the fact that he can just so casually throw these numbers around tells you that they are out of touch with the regular American people. When you think that $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 is not a lot of money, not a huge amount of money, you have no damn idea what regular life is really like. And that's part of the problem. Somebody do me a favor. Somebody find the Mississippi House representative that stood on the floor a week or two ago. And she talked about them talking about cutting services to poor people. And she talked about the fact that in her district, it was a big damn deal. Because in her district, it's one of the poorest districts in Missouri. And she talked about, the district where she comes from, she has to borrow money to pay her taxes every year so that she's not lying on her paperwork when she goes to run for office. Somebody reach out to her ass and tell her I would love to interview her for the podcast and a live, because that is somebody who knows what it is like. That is, and y'all listen, if you didn't hear her speech, listen. She was about it. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick.
Don't be in trouble, okay?
Let me see. Oh, here she is. Yeah. She says, how dare y'all? She sure did. Now, here's the problem. Do you know what I want? I want just her damn clip. I don't want to hear Roland Martin talk about it. I don't want to hear about nobody else damn talk about it. I just want to hear what she said. I don't want to hear everybody else. Here we go. Yes, baby. But she didn't. This is the water that spilled.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the water that spilled. Girl, don't be lying. Okay, so listen, y'all ready? Here is this Missouri House Representative. She's State Representative Rachel Prouty from Ferguson, Missouri. Okay, so listen to what she says. Hold on. I need to.
And poor folks with circuit breakers and pink taxes and everything else, when we've had ample opportunity to pass this year after year after year after year, but only until it's attached to something that's going to work for rich folks do we care enough about this. Gross.
She said gross. Yes. Yes. She has said, so listen to what she said. She said, we have had an opportunity year after year after year after year to pass these things, but we're only interested in it when it has something for rich people. Gross. Yes, baby. I don't care. So listen to the rest of what she says. Yes. Good Lord. Can y'all tell the babies are home? Yes. It's I don't know. It's a Super Mario candy, baby. Do you want this? I don't know what you want.
Yeah, I want this one.
Sweet baby Jesus. Plug it up. Thank you. Rachel Prouty. So it's R-A-Y. I will put it in my link tree. It is R-A-Y C-H-E-L and then Proud I-E. So Prouty. So listen to the rest of what she says. She has just finished saying, you only care enough to do it when it's rich folk. Gross. Here's the rest.
And then have the audacity to say, oh, if you don't like this, you don't care. Y'all are too strong. We've cared year after year after year after year. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on Caring. No, I don't care about the folks who got to go and buy both. And you can put that on Facebook. I don't have any of those in my district. No one's sitting at any marble tables over in the 73rd talking about capital gains tax. They are talking about these eggs. They are talking about how they have to use the emergency room for their primary care physician. They do talk about that. They do talk about rolling toilet paper around their drawers because they can't afford tampons and pads. They do talk about that. And if you're offended by that, that's what they talk about in my district, and they're Missourians too. They talk about diapers and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, we support those things too. Don't sit here and say we don't have common sense and don't care about these people. Don't even go there. Because I've heard a lot about people who are buying 2 and 3 houses. I'm not hearing enough about the woman who have to wrap a towel around her baby's backside to keep them clean and dry. Yeah, that's me sitting on the side gallery crocheting baby boots and socks. When you look at my MEC report, it's me clearing out my campaign donations to go drive Meals on Wheels every Monday. That's what they're talking about in my neck of the woods.
She said that's me clearing out my campaign donations to go drive Meals and Wheels on Mondays. Listen.
I stood here until the last 3 of us stood here because it was worth saying out loud. I'm not about to buck dance for the wealthy. I don't bootlick. Those poor people who work those 2 and 3 jobs, I thank the lady for Jackson for talking about me. Because I'm not going to be able to afford a house anytime soon as a millennial in this economy. She was talking about me. So no, it's not just our constituents back in our district that's telling you they need something. I'm telling you I need it now. I don't get to fly into session. I don't plug my car in. I have Walmart greeters in my family in their 60s and 70s. Y'all get to run for office. I have to borrow money to pay my taxes to sign that affidavit when we file for office so that I can run for office and not be lying on it. I have to borrow money for them fancy gold plates we have. I don't know what a capital gains is about. I don't know that feeling. But I do know what it feels like when your stomach touch your back. That's what they talk about in my district in North St. Louis County, where their representative has to stand on this floor till our feet get raw. We talk about that. So I do appreciate the fact that it's 111 of you that are going to finally give my grandmother, my 84 and 3-day-old grandmother, the opportunity to get a break on her circuit breaker. Thank you. The same 84-year-old who had to work and get paid under the table for taxes. When she cleaned white folks' houses, they called her Mary, and she called them by Mr. and Miss. Those are the people I have in my district. I don't have the people who sit up and concern themselves with what boat they get to buy this year and what vacation they get to go on this year. They make bologna sandwiches and fold the bread in half so that they can feed their grandkids when they come from school because they can't afford child care. Those are the conversations we have in my district. So for all the monopoly men on the other side of campus twirling their rich mustaches and top hats talking about capital gains, vacations, and what their constituents talk about at their table, I love to be invited for some so I can cosplay wealth.
I can cosplay wealth.
But don't you dare sit here and talk about us on this side of the aisle who filed, the young man, the gentleman from St. Louis, the first bill he filed was to remove those taxes to help actual people. I can't even swim, as you all probably have guessed, by my skin color. I don't care nothing about no boat. Just pass the bill and stop trying to act like it's us over here when it's been you all the whole time. I'm grateful that these things are on this bill. I'm voting on it, but I'm grateful it's here. That I can get some kind of rebate or some reprieve from tampons while I still have to use them before I have to go get diapers for my age. Thank you.
I love her. So listen, I'm going to tell, I told you all who this is. I'm going to tell you who she is again. Her name is, she's a state representative in Missouri. Her name is Rachel Prouty, Raychel. Her last name is Prouty, spelled like the word proud and IE at the end. Hey, Mila. Mila, don't do that. Okay. Now, she is from, her district is Ferguson. She's a Democrat, as a matter of fact, as you can guess. And so the Missouri, come here. Don't pick with your sister. So it's Rachel, Raychel. The last name is Proud E. So Proud, Proudie. So listen, the Missouri State Legislature just passed a repeal of the state's capital gains tax. And because it was so unfair and unpopular and all of that, that is what, so the Republicans finally needed to include some Democrat championed provisions, right? So that's why they included things that they've been asking for all the time. Proud E, that it's an IE, not RE at the end, but that's it, Uka. And so her thing was, listen, because if the Democrats were voting no, the Republicans were saying, oh, you don't care about these people. You don't care, whatever. And she said, welcome to caring. We've been caring this whole damn time. But you only want to do it when you're doing some shit for super wealthy people. Yes. Yeah, she's amazing. Yes.
But I'm not playing games.
Well, Bella might not want to play a game with you. But here's the thing. Listen. Just give me a moment, please. Listen. Hey, look at me. It's chocolate that you got on you. But listen to me. If you mess with her and pick at her, she's not going to want to play with you. Okay? Let her get settled. She just got home from school. Let her eat her snack. I know you're excited that she's home. But yeah, she's incredible. And so here's what I'm saying. Somebody feel free to let her know that I would love to talk to her and have her on this live and on the podcast and discuss all the things. I got family in Missouri, right? Listen, when she said, I don't know what it's like to talk about capital gains, but I know what it is to have your stomach touch your back. Listen, y'all, that's some real life. So I'm just saying, yeah, she's incredible. I'm so glad I found the video because I have been struggling trying to find it. So the point about all of this is that what we have are people that speak out when it's comfortable for them, when it's right, cosplay wealthy. Right, Veronica, 100%. She said, welcome to caring, 100%. So this is my thing. I think it's great that the individuals pictured up here, besides Diddy, have voiced their opposition to Trump. What I want that opposition to be is more than words. I want that opposition to be action with other members of their party. I want those words to become a backbone that reins in the spending of this administration, that lets Congress take back control of the purse strings in this country, that stops letting minorities and marginalized individuals be attacked every damn day that we turn around while we fly in fucking white South Africans who, by the way, their website says they don't even have to prove persecution. Did you know that? Did you know that when South Africaners go to the page to find out about coming here, it actually says that they do not have to prove persecution? Meanwhile, every brown person on the planet got to prove that to come here. Sure does. Ain't that something? So, just so that everybody understands what's going on and what's happening, it's a good ass mess. Let me see if I can find the exact verbiage for you real quick. Oh, I need to go. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. Give me 1 second. Mila, not so loud, babe. Well, Terry Bora, I can tell you this right now. I know you are not standing in my living room screaming for Dominic. I don't care. Bella, help her plug that back up. Don't scream, Mila. If you're not bleeding or dying, don't scream like that. So I can tell you now that I talked to my African friend yesterday morning, and when he gets mad, his African accent comes out even more. Please plug up that cord. Whenever you got up, you tripped it. It unplugged under the white blanket. No, I don't. Just check it, please, and see how much charge she has. No, it was not you. I froze. Sorry, I don't know. Am I still frozen? It's not frozen for me. Are you back? Are y'all good? I don't know what happened. Probably because Mila screamed like that. Don't scream like that.
Okay.
Jeez, oh Pete. Probably because TikTok heard that scream and was like, is somebody unaliving? Jesus. So here's what happens. She gets excited that they are coming home. They need a minute to decompress. She is not patient enough for that. And then they drive me crazy, which is why I'm usually off the live at 2:00, but not today. Tell people to swipe out and swipe back in if they're not back in. So let me see if I can find this. Here it is. So it's called Amerikaners with a K, right? A resource for South Africans, resettlement in America made easy. You can join their mailing list and sign up for it. And it says, from their explanations, number one, you do not need to prove persecution. Thank you, Jen. Number two, you can get free support from the government, housing, food, job, etc. Or if you are financially independent, you can go wherever you want. So basically just immigration skipping all the steps and costs associated with that. The offer stands for any quote unquote disfavored minorities that broadens the definition to include all white South Africans and certain other groups. Apart from regular eligibility, if you are a commercial farmer, you can get a fast-tracked citizenship. Applicants over 60 will qualify for refugee assistance, refugee medical assistance for 12 months. And lastly, you can take your pets with you. And then it says in the FAQ, they themselves admit that there's no active G-side taking place. How about that? So just thought I would lay that out. So it was published, Margaret, by the Tennessee Holler, Justin Canoe over at the Tennessee Holler. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's it. Okay. So it's at, let me see. Yeah. If it's Amerikaners, resettlement in America made easy. Step 1, complete the statement of interest on the U.S. Embassy website link below in order to be considered for the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. Before you do this, it's vital you look at step 3 to ensure your submission is structured properly for your unique family and extended family. Step 2, you should gather your documents for your family in advance of being invited for an interview. To get ahead of this process, go through this checklist carefully. It also contains links to help you research more details in South Africa and has the Home Affairs link to book appointments for passports. Step 3, organize your family units according to the formal framework. A nuclear family and dependents are allowed under a single application, while extended family and grown children, for example, should make their own applications. And then I'm doing the Q&A for you. You ready? Here's what I will do. I will put this link in the link tree for you. Okay. So, yeah, sure it can. Hawk, sure. The same way he undid the temporary protected status for Venezuelans, and the same way he suspended the refugee program for every damn body else. Yes, this could be undone. So under the questions and answers, here's what it says. Who is eligible for refugee status? Is it only Afrikaners or only farmers? And here's what it says. All minority groups in South Africa according to the following criteria. To be eligible for U.S. resettlement consideration, individuals must meet all of the following criteria. Must be of South African nationality and must be of Afrikaner ethnicity or be a member of a racial minority in South Africa, and must be able to articulate a past experience of persecution or fear of future persecution. Articulate it, not prove it. If eligible to go, what is the process? Hold on a second. Bella, get a cube and please use my charger because y'all getting on my nerves. I didn't say you are. I'm saying just use the charger and get one of the. No. So let me just be clear. White South Africans only make up 7 or 8% of the population. Okay. And yet they control 70 to 73% of the farmland, and they control 70% of corporate leadership. They are not being persecuted. They still own almost everything else because of previous apartheid. So listen, it says you will undergo at least 2 interviews at the U.S. embassies or consulates in South Africa, where you will submit documentation, fill out forms, and exchange information. You'll pass background checks and a medical screening. Then you'll get a cultural orientation and assistance with travel arrangements to the United States, which means we chartered a damn plane to bring them here. It says, when I arrive there or before, can I choose where I want to go? Yes and no. If you need any support for housing, cash, and hands-on services from the U.S. government, they will send you to various places where they have the infrastructure to provide support. You can ask to be sent to a specific place in your interview, but it's not guaranteed. If, however, you are financially independent, you'll be required to go to a designated place for 48 hours for administrative purposes, but afterwards you can leave for anywhere in the country. Talk about undamn documented and untraceable. What the hell? Now here's the question. Listen. Will I have to prove persecution? No, you don't. That's what it clearly says. No, you don't. This requirement only occurs when an individual / group initiates the refugee status request where the circumstances in the problem country are unknown. In the South Africa case, the U.S. is not only aware of the racial prejudice towards minorities, but President Trump himself has laid out the case to that effect. You will, however, need to articulate any past persecution or your fear of future persecution. So let me just be fucking clear. Racial prejudice is not persecution. And if it was, persecution would be happening right here in the United States. But I can tell you that if the United States of America claims that we don't have any persecution happening towards minorities, then it damn sure is not happening to white South Africans. Right. You only got to be able to articulate it, not prove it. However, brown people got to prove it. So, it's a good hot mess. So this is, I'm happy to put this link. I'm going to do it right now so that I do not forget. I'm going to put this link in the link tree for you as we speak. So that you have it and you can read it and share it for yourself, because people need to know so that when they claim things and it's inaccurate, right? That they have facts, because it matters. Call me crazy, but facts do matter. All right. So last thing, because I do have to go. So last thing. Please make sure that if you plan to come to Good Trouble Workshop tonight, 1 minute. If you plan to come to the training tonight, please go to, it's there right now, Uka. It's under the Good Trouble training link. So you go to my link tree. I heard you and I said, give me 1 second. So go to my link tree. Appreciate you, Sandy. And click the Good Trouble training. It is the first link in my link tree, and RSVP so that you can attend. Okay. If you have never been to my link tree, it is full of a ton of information on just about any subject that you could possibly imagine. When it comes to policy and all of those things, right? So just so that you know. So again, right now, I'll tell you how many. So you'll get the email from Calendly, and it has the Zoom link for tonight. There are 29 spots left. Typically, there are 70 people in the room, 75 people in the room. So make sure you're there. We will start promptly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I am going to go because I have a VA appointment at 4:30, and I have material 28 slots. There you go. And I have material to get together for you all for tonight. Cam also dropped it in Discord, so love that. Thank you, Cam. It will send the link shortly after you RSVP, and it will send you a reminder an hour before. Okay? No, he said before. So let me just say this, Masani. No, let me say this, Masani. Derek Chauvin, I don't give a fuck if he gets pardoned for federal crimes, because the state of Minnesota did him first. So he ain't going nowhere. He is going to stay in damn prison in the state of Minnesota. I don't give a shit what Trump does. Enough. So just be clear. Don't let them send you down that damn rabbit hole, right? Yes, Veronica, it will be recorded. Okay. So just to be clear, do not let them get you upset about pardoning Chauvin and all that shit. Derek Chauvin is the guy who unalived George Floyd with his knee on his neck for 9 damn minutes. That's who that is. So, yeah. So just saying, yeah, he's definitely safer in federal prison. Yeah, he was a state crime. He was prosecuted state and federal. So Donald Trump cannot pardon state crimes. And the state has already said he ain't going nowhere. He owes us years. So there you go. All right, folks, I am going to get myself up out of here. If you know anybody that you think would benefit from being in the Good Trouble workshop tonight, please have them RSVP. Yep, workshops are recorded. They'll be put up on the YouTube later. Again, thank you all immensely for the people who sent me birthday support, birthday gifts, birthday whatever. Thanks, Hawk. I appreciate it. I truly do appreciate absolutely everyone. You filled my cup up to overflowing, and you are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. I will see you all at the workshop at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I will see you on TikTok tomorrow, Facebook and YouTube tomorrow as well. All right. See you guys later. Have a great one. Peace out.